Hello and welcome to part 2 of week 6's lecture on usability, principles and practice. This week we are looking at the user interface and navigation elements that really create fantastic, well-valued websites that people love. Now, in part 1, we had to look at the elements of websites, the parts that you pull together and create websites that people really love. But now we're going to take a deep dive into the navigation. Now, you might think that navigation is a very boring topic compared to the awesome content that you want to put on the website. But let's be honest, if people can't get from the homepage to the products, the services, the information, whatever they are looking for, your website does not work. It's not usable. And let's be honest, if you've got a retail website and people can't find the products, you will never sell them. So website navigation is absolutely critical to everything you do in a usable website. And also, it applies to apps too, so this applies all over the board. By the end of this video, you will be able to confidently describe the 7 principles of effective website navigation. You will be able to identify effective navigation elements that support usable websites. And you will be aware of the common user interface design elements to avoid when creating task-driven websites. So this is fundamental to your ability to work effectively as a designer. So let's dive in for the 7 principles of effective website navigation. What do you need to know and embody in all of your work? Now, before I get started, I want to mention a lot of the content here came from Jay McGovern's book, Top Tasks. I highly recommend it. I'll put a link in the description below for Amazon. I don't make any money from this, no sponsorship or anything. It's purely this guy is really at the top of his game. You can learn a lot from him. So the 7 key principles are having momentum, which is the user keeps working forward. Unity, things work together and they're grouped effectively. Twins, there are more than one way to do it. You can take 2 paths and we can design navigation that works for the way people think on those paths. Minimalism, reducing what you don't need. Clarity, having things clear. Fidelity, being effective. And magnetism, drawing people in. Now, what do I mean by all that? Let's take a deep dive and go through each one individually. Momentum. What is momentum? Now, people want to get to the destination quickly. So navigation that helps move people forward from where they are now to the destination they want to reach is effective. And the faster you can get them there, the better. So we can assume that people are always on the page where they want to be. So be it the home page, the category page, wherever, we assume that is the right place. Now, how do we get people to them? That's the question. How do we do that? Now, if people are not where they are, where they want to be, that's fine. They can always use the back button. They can also use the home button or other bits, but we shouldn't really bias towards other routes. We need to really bring where they want to be to the front and foremost. Here's an example of Amazon's website. So what is it about Amazon's website that is so good? This example is the musical instrument page, but where else is there? Now, let's have a look at this. Now, the main bulk of the page, the main center, are the key stores promoted in the center. That is, we think that you're going to want to look at this content and we're bringing it to the front. The navigation on the left and the top is all about musical instruments. Nothing else. Even though Amazon sell millions and millions of products, they've got rid of everything. It's just musical instruments because you're on the musical instruments page. Search results are already pre-filtered, so anything you type in will be biased towards musical instruments. For example, you type string, that probably means guitar strings, not any other kind of string. We're not even going to show you anything. We're filtering it out already. Now, as I said before, we're assuming that you are where you want to be, and you can always use the back button to get back. So yeah, you can hit the back button to get back to the main page, or hit the Amazon logo, or there's a few small navigation elements at the top. These are secondary to the musical instrument items to push you forward to where you want to go to. Unity. What is unity? Navigation must always be unified. So you must keep core elements together in the same area of the screen. So bits that belong together, links that belong together are grouped closely. Now, you can add new navigation areas all over the place, but that doesn't make life easier. Having 3 or 4 or 5 different kinds of navigation structure is not helping anyone. It's just going to confuse them. So you've got to use logic and put subcategories together. This is an example of Wiltshire County Council website. So they spent millions building this, probably. Is this good? Is it bad? Well, there's definitely logic there, but is this logic appropriate? Now, the top has some links, pay, report, apply, but apply for what? Pay for what? Services, what services do you offer? News, well, you've got a whole thing for news, but then the middle of the page is all news, so why is that there? And Salisbury, well, what's so good about Salisbury? I mean, sure, it's the County Council of Wiltshire, but what's it? There's a search box, but users know what they're looking for themselves, but they don't necessarily know what it's called. So they may not know what to search for, so it's not a very effective way of doing this. Again, news being front and centre, is that why people visit the County Council website to see council news? I doubt it. I never have. I've been there to pay bills. I've been there to pay parking fines and apply for childcare and things, but I've never looked at news, because that's what newspapers are for. Then at the bottom, we've got popular tasks. So, okay, well, does that suggest that all other tasks are unpopular? Do I know that my task is popular? I'm looking for applying for childcare. Is that popular? I don't know. So maybe I'll look there and maybe I'll see my things and maybe it will work. But if it's so good, why is it there? So overall, not a very good website. But this is Manchester County Council's website. You might say looks a bit less engaging, a bit boring, a bit less, wow, even though you can see fireworks at the bottom. But is this better? Let's have a look. Now, we have unified navigation focusing on tasks, council tax, bins, work, libraries, environmental problems, schools, education, benefits, parking, and council and democracy. So these are the key pathways. These are directions we're going. And we see some sub options there about payments and rubbish recycling, etc. So we do have other paths to go. These are brought in up to a way that we can straight away go, yes, that's what I want, let's go. We're being accelerated because we've made unified, logical options. Twins. And why is a twin? Now, for most journeys, there are two dominant ways of getting to that. So two ways getting to your destination. You have objective focus and subjective focused. What do I mean by this? So your task is finding a pair of winter walking boots. So the objective path is saying, I want to find the winter activities section and then look for walking boots. That's logical because winter activities, lots of things. There's coats, there's walking poles, there's crampons for boots, loads of things. I'll go down that route. Or maybe there's the subjective route of saying, I want to go to the walking boots section. Yep, lots of walking boots on the website. And then I'm going to choose the winter boots. So both paths are valid. If you don't think about both being available, if you don't give both options, then half of your users will not be able to follow through the website to the path that you want to get them to. You give only the winter activities section, followed by boots, then people looking in the boots section will be lost. Therefore, you must identify what the twins are and provide them. Here's an example on, once again, Amazon's website. Where are the twins here? Well, we have two ways of finding your instrument. The first one, which I assume is the most popular via Amazon, is by profession level. Are you a beginner, left-hand side, big picture, or are you professional? Now, obviously that goes into two very large categories, but we're looking at the profession level and then instrument. The other way of looking at it on the left-hand side is instrument type, and then you can say, well, I want beginner this, one beginner that. Both are valid, both are effective, but we're allowing your way of thinking to work with the website rather than trying to force you to work in the way that we like. Working with the mind of the user is always more effective than forcing the user to think how you want. This is Next, a very successful UK clothing retailer. It's the 2019 website. Let's have a look at this. Where are the twins? Well, they're here. On the left-hand side, we have the product type. And on the right-hand side in blue, we have the collection. So you want to go for the bedding stuff, the kitchen stuff, the lighting stuff, the Christmas stuff. That's all on the right hand. You can go, right, I want bedding, then whatever. On the left-hand side, you go, well, I want bed sheets, I want blinds, etc. Now, I don't think this is a particularly well done version. I think a better way would be keeping the left-hand side pretty much as it is, but the collection side, I would go for more trends and occasions. You got a bit of that there with Christmas, but you could make this stronger. So, high fashion, in trend, traditional workwear, whatever the styles are at the moment. Now, they've also got repetition in their system here. So we have bed sheets appearing twice. I'm not a big fan of that because why repeat yourself? But this does show maybe not quite as good as Amazon, but an okay way at doing twins. Minimalism. Now, we all think that minimalism is a great thing and we should all be striving towards minimalism, but is that what's right? So the closer you are to your destination, the less navigation you need, because when you start on the website, you need all the options in the world because there's so many paths. By the time you get almost to your destination, the options available are limited. Why throw other things in the way to distract the person? It's not very good. So you must always focus on the important information. Minimalism is not giving more information than you need. That might be lots of information on the homepage, but it might be very little information. So let's have a look at that in practice. Once again, Amazon's website, great example here. There's a lot of options here. There's a lot of links. We can go in any number of directions. But once we search for a really fantastic Jazzmaster Vintera 60s guitar, now that's what we want. We want this instrument. So everything on the website is all about the instrument. Okay, sure. At the top, we have navigation structure. So we can get to other instruments. We can get to keyboards and bits if we want. But then we've minimized this. That left-hand bar is all gone because we're focusing on the product. If you focus on the product, you increase the chance they'll make a payment because there's nothing distracting you from buying it now. So minimalism depends on the site's location. So it's inappropriate to have, loads of options all the time. It's more appropriate to have a few options depending on what's needed at that point. This is Government UK website. Lots and lots of options. That's really, really good. But then we go to child and parent care. So you can see I've already clicked on the link. And we've got less. There's still a lot of information, but compared to the homepage, we have less stuff there. By the time we get to the final steps applying for childcare, all that navigation is gone. We've lost the complexity of the homepage, and we're down to saying, hey, you want to get childcare. Here are the steps you have to go for. Number 1, check you're eligible. Number 2, check if you're better off, etc. If we want other things, we've got a navigation at the top. We've got a homepage. We can use that. Now, could we have put a global navigation there, letting everyone get to all of these wonderful topics that Government UK does? Sure we could, but why? Because you care about childcare, you don't care about childcare and bins. If you do care about childcare and bins, you'll make a second search later on. Keep it focused on what you need when you need it. Clarity. Well, being clear, that's pretty obvious. Isn't clarity the same as minimalism? Maybe. You must focus on tasks. So when you're naming navigation, make the links declarative, which is you say, this is the task you can achieve with this link, not what you find in that link. So you'd say costs, not products. You would say book a trip, not schedule flights. No, we're thinking about what the tasks you want to achieve. So here are 3 things that people do to abuse clarity in websites. They use formats, they use hamburger items, and frequently asked questions. But why are these bad? Well, here are some formats. Resources, tools, knowledge base, documents, tutorials, data sheets. Now, you might ask yourself, what are these? Now, is a data sheet a technical specification? Maybe. Is a data sheet product selling rates or company portfolios? Maybe. Are documents user assembly guides? Are they releases from the company? Who knows? Now, these don't make much sense. They don't tell you what you will achieve or what you're trying to do. They're telling you what's there. That's not very good. Make it task focused. Burger icons. We see this everywhere. Mobile app designers absolutely love burger icons. But let's have a think about it. Now, they look cool? Sure. They save space? Yeah. Do you have to translate them into different languages? No, just translate the navigation structure beyond. But when you look at the icon, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, sure, you might know how to click on it, but itself, there's no straight thing. There's no momentum. There's no obvious part. You have to get to the website, look around the page, find out if there's a link or a button or anything about what you want to achieve. If there's not, you've got to go to the side, open up the bar, and look through the navigation structure to see if it's there. It's not an effective thing. You need to put your routes in front of people, like we saw on the Manchester Council website. Now, overall, hamburger icons were developed to channel a user's journey, which is saying that they're going to put things on the web page that we want people to click in, not their global navigation, not what the way they think. It's channeling what they want. When they open the burger icon, we're putting the navigation in an order we want them to follow in, not what they want to do. Channeling users' journeys for them is never a good thing to help them achieve the task that they want to do. As after all, they're using your app, your website, whatever it is, to help them achieve their goals, not your goals. Now, here's an example of Zara's website. So we've got what is here. We click what is behind that burger icon. I have no idea. Think of all the things that you could want with this web page. Maybe you want to have other items that go with it. That's a suit blazer. What about buying shirts? What about buying the polo shirt? What about exploring the style that goes with it? All those things. Are they behind the burger icon? I don't know. Let's find out. We click on it, and oh my god, which one do I click on? That gives us everything under the sun. So it's not working well for what we want to achieve. It's not facilitating anything. It's actually just hiding a load of mess. Burger icons are not effective. And then frequently asked questions. Hey, we see this all the time. Websites always have frequently asked questions. Now, firstly, you come to the website and you've got a question. How do we know if your question is frequently asked? Are you an outlier or not? We don't know. So why would we go there first? Instead, we search all around the website. We search everywhere. And the last resort, we check frequently asked questions. That's not effective navigation. If these questions are being asked so frequently, why don't you put the answers in the path of people looking for them? If there's questions about, childcare from the government, why don't you put the answers clearly on the page about childcare, rather than hiding them away somewhere in a forgotten part of the website? Now, let's go forward into that. This is next website. Go to the very bottom. You've searched something, you can't find it. Oh, look, frequently asked questions. This is nice. Let's have a look. Right. What is this? Apparently, this is frequently asked questions. We've got categories of questions. We've got my account, placing order, delivery, payments. I've now got to search about all these things to find the answer. Why can't we put all the answers for my account in the My Account section, where you're going to be encountering the problem and find the solution? Placing the order questions, why don't we just have that on the order placement page? So when you're making an order, if you're not sure, you can find the answer quickly. That makes sense, because think about it. You've found a product you like, you have added it to your bag, you're going through payments, you're not too sure about something, you go, oh wow, got to think about this. If you're abandoning your basket, going to somewhere else on the website, searching through, trying to find an answer, at some point you're going to go, I can't be bothered with this. I'm abandoning the shop. I'm going to buy my item somewhere else. It's not effective for the user, having a bad experience. They won't make the payment, and you've really not made a sale. You're in problem. Fidelity, number 6. What is fidelity? Now, a link is a promise. Navigation is a promise. You must always deliver on what you said you would do. So, when you say book now, it means you book now. Not take 5 steps, not do an assessment. It says do it now. Amazon do this great. They've got a button saying buy now. Not add to basket, it's buy now. You click that button and that product is on its way to you that day. It's a great promise. So you must communicate a sense of what the task can achieve, and give a magnitude of the size and time of that task in the link. So promise what you can deliver. This is an example of something really good. I go onto Google and type in Jazzmaster. Hey, there's my previous results. I've got common things. I'm going to hit the I'm feeling lucky button. Well, what is that? I'm feeling lucky that Google can give me the answer I want in one click. I click it and wow, I'm on the Fender website with every model of Jazzmaster that I can buy right now. That's a good answer. I'm really happy because it's delivered on the promise it's given. Sure, Google's I'm feeling lucky button will not always work, but it works a lot of the time, and that is effective. Let's take a bad example. What does not work well? Well, here's EasyJet's website. Discover a new city this December. Book now. Okay, so I'm expecting under 50 quid one way. Let's go. All right. Now, what's wrong with this? It's saying, inspire me. I don't want that. You know where I am because I've got geolocation on my computer. So why is it saying flight from Birmingham? I'm living in Manchester. Getaway winter 2019. Is that right? One way? Why is it one way? It's two way. My budget is, I don't mind. Hang on a second. You promised me under 50 quid. No, why am I having to enter my budget? I said, yeah, I'd like to explore. Okay, well, why can't you give me suggestions? Now, looking down, I can see there are suggestions there, but that's not the same. You've not delivered on your promise. You've given me something else by inspiration, not booking right now. Finally, magnetism. What is magnetism in navigation? Now, you've got clean and you've got dirty elements. So a clean element is getting a user to click on a link for a task, and the link can help the user with the task. A dirty link is dirty navigation, is where you click on the link for a task to be achieved, and the link cannot help you with that task, but the user thinks the link can help them with the task. Okay, what does that mean? Well, here's links.com, one of my favorite websites on the internet for probably the worst design. So I'm a customer, or I want to be a customer, so yeah, let's click customers on the left. Maybe I'm trying to find out about my account, maybe I'm trying to find out about customer service, all these things. Okay, who is on my page? What? Customer letters? Are they complaint letters? Are they letters that say how great they are? I don't know. Customer map. What the hell is that? Trust Pirate? I don't know what that is. I'm guessing it's a third-party website about can you trust websites, but who knows? And then logging on to Lingo. What is Lingo? Is Lingo how they manage their account? I don't know. But customers in process. I guess that's what I want to. I want to find out about what it's like to be a customer. I click on that, and what the hell is this? This is a list of all the new cars currently being ordered to my customers. To prove this, I match blah, 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 blah. So this is what she's giving people? Why do I want to know that? That's useless. So I've gone through this whole load of links, thinking that I can find out about my account or the customer journey, and it really does not help me in the slightest. That is a very dirty navigation structure. Now let's have a look at a clean one. Now, I know that I said this is not very good because it makes a promise that you can't keep, and I still stand by that, but we're going to book a holiday, right? 50 quid? Okay, book now. And yeah, this will help you book a holiday. It may not be in the exact way you'd like, so it's not a sparklingly clean navigation structure, but it's okay. So that is not a terrible system. So, got to the end of the session. I hope that you've enjoyed this video and you find it informative and useful in framing how you think about navigation. If you found this useful, please like, comment and subscribe to the video. Hit that bell to get notified of all those videos. And whilst you're at it, why don't you listen and subscribe to the Usability Podcast every week, talking about usability issues that you can use to enhance your business, your design, and just your way of thinking in the UX design world. I've been Dr. Chris Parker. Thank you very much.